Isolated, and this is the definition, definition of isolated thunderstorm that we had popping up over downtown. Earlier there was a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30 p.m. and now there is a flash flood warning for this right over basically downtown, parts of the Highlands, typical flood spots we need to watch out for. We've had a couple reports of some high water rescues due to the high water over downtown, and now this thunderstorm is expanding. Wrong shoulder again. Expanding over into New Albany and Clarksville. We're going to put this up full screen in just a moment. Let me share this to our First Alert Storm Team page, and then we'll get rolling along. I want to talk about what's happening now with this isolated thunderstorm that's basically fallen apart over downtown, so it's drying out, but still very heavy rainfall over New Albany and Clarksville, but that is also starting to fizzle out, so that's good news too. So with a flash flood warning, you probably just want to avoid some of the downtown roads over the next hour or so. That'll allow things to drain out and things to get better. Most of the roads, minor flooding, but again, typical flood spots with up to 3 inches of rainfall out of this have causing some problems out there. We just heard over the scanner in the newsroom that there was just a couple of minutes ago another high water rescue. So probably just best to avoid the downtown area because of that. Again, let me try to share this out really quickly, and then I also want to talk about, as I was trying to mention earlier, a tropical system, Tropical Storm Ida, which may impact the Gulf Coast. So if you have any plans this weekend to hit the Gulf Coast, you may want to watch this. And then also for our area, we may have some impacts from that system next week as well. So plenty to cover here over the next 10 minutes or so, or however long it takes to take a look at that radar. I'll go ahead and go double box. Look at this. This is a 2-hour loop. And this thunderstorm, these are called pulse thunderstorms. They pulse straight up. There's no wind to direct them, to move them. So they either collapse or they sit there and just continue to pour buckets and buckets of rainfall. And that's what this one did. And there were times the rainfall rates were around 2 to 3 inches per hour. Again, this is just meteorologist T.G. Shuck was saying, you're just wringing out the atmospheric sponge until that water's gone, and then it falls apart. So thanks again for watching our live stream here at 8:53 p.m. on this August 26, 2021. I am Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine. I'm going to share this quickly to our First Alert Storm Team page. Thanks to, if you would like to like or share our live stream here on YouTube, Twitter, and also on Facebook, of course. So I've almost got this ready to go. And there we go. So I know the live stream title says Muggy pattern through the weekend, but really I want to focus on what's happening right now with the flash flood threat downtown, and maybe in a few portions of New Albany and Clarksville as well, but there's no flash flood concern there at the moment, but we've had some heavy rain there for a little while now. Just buckets and buckets of rain. Raining cats and dogs, all the phrases to describe a very heavy rain event. And it's pretty unique because, again, this is the time of year where you lack wind to drive these things. And we've had some outflow boundaries. I want to point this out. So this, let me see if it'll work here. I'll try this again. The little pointer's not working. Oh well, maybe this will work. Right there, see that? That is an outflow boundary coming in down Interstate 71, and then this thunderstorm put out more outflow boundaries right there. So just a collision of little outflow boundaries. What is an outflow boundary? Well, you get enough rain to sit in one spot, that cool air just splashes out in kind of a ring, kind of a collar that expands out of the thunderstorm that's not moving, and that can cause other thunderstorms to pop up as well. So we had a few of those outflow boundaries popping up, a few of these isolated showers and thunderstorms. Here's a good example up in Trimble County of a thunderstorm not moving and then just collapsing on itself, just like that. So I'll go back 3 hours to show you this thing. Right here is 3 hours ago. Right now, watch it dissolve over Bedford, pop up, over Bethlehem and then just dissolve. So when you've got a very lazy atmosphere, it's kind of interesting to watch these things. Again, just pop up over one spot. Here's one over eastern Washington County. There it goes, and there it goes. But we still have this thunderstorm. We'll do a 1 hour loop. That's still putting down some torrential rain over Sellersburg and also northeastern Floyd County, up just north of the Knobs, Bennettsville, up Highway 60 off of Interstate 65, just between Perry Crossing and Sellersburg. And then still a heavy, isolated, heavy downpour over New Albany to Blackiston Mill Road area, over Clarksville, over Silver Creek. Downtown looking a lot better now that that thunderstorm has basically, we'll call it cycled. It really hasn't moved. That part of the thunderstorm has fallen apart, and a different thunderstorm has bubbled up to the north, propagating off to the north. So that's what we have out there right now. Just going to look over some of the comments very quickly, and then we'll look at Futurecast. This is the kind of pattern we'll have all the way through Monday. Very muggy, very stagnant, steamy, sizzling, all those S words, sultry, sweaty. Did I mention sweaty? We're going to have the low 90s continuing through Monday, and an occasional pop-up shower or thunderstorm. And again, this is the definition of isolated, because if you look at our map of our viewing area, most locations have been dry. But you really have to do the zoom to find the active weather. Still have a few of those little popcorn downpours here over Jackson County, just north of Interstate, or Highway 50, that is, to the west of Interstate 65, near Brownstown. And we've had a couple over Jennings County as well. There's one that popped up and has fizzled out just west of downtown North Vernon. And then another one in southwestern Jennings County. It's just kind of funny to watch them pop up. They last for half hour tops usually, and then they wash themselves out. They cut off the updraft, which is what keeps these thunderstorms going. And once you can't get that inflow of warm, muggy air anymore, they're gone. All right, so let's see. We've got Kenita Danes. Will this hit Radcliffe? No, it looks like, unless it was you had a very, very isolated shower over Radcliffe, but you guys are all dry. It looks like things are going to be fizzling out over the next hour or so for pretty much all areas. Lose the heat of the day, you lose the energy for the thunderstorms. And we had the heat of the day, 96, the high temperature this afternoon, heat index around 100. Susan Fox getting that much needed rain now in Jeffersonville. So yeah, they can be kind of pesky with the flooding issues, but at the same time, it gives you a lot of the rain that some of the yards and gardens needed. A little bit too much is the issue sometimes. Jay Jones, thanks for watching here. Kathy Mattingly, nothing in Grayson County. Judy Hoyer, Bradford in the house. Chad Quick had a nice little storm in New Albany. Still got some heavy rain there. No rain in Okolona. Yeah, what's funny about this, you could have watched from pretty much all the suburbs in Jefferson County, and just sat there and looked at that towering cumulus cloud sitting over downtown while everybody else was dry. I mean, that's just maybe, what would you say, a 15th of the size of the county, maybe a 20th. That got rain and everybody else was dry. Nothing in Seatonville there, Rusty Brooks. Good evening, Claire Matthews from Jeffersonville. Adam Dufour. Yeah, this is right now, Adam. This is what we're looking at right now. Emma Hellard from Willisburg. Ciedra Jennings in St. Matthews. Yeah, as close as St. Matthews got nothing. This was one of those things where your neighbor out your back fence may have been getting poured on and you got nothing. Joshua Violet reporting some lightning. Kelly Bryant got a burst of rain in the Highlands. And the bushes and trees are happy from the emojis that I see right there. Stephanie Scott, thanks for watching here. Linda Gibson got a lot of thunder, but so far no rain in Madison. Susan Miller, Miss Shively, yes indeed. Johnny Hayes, Paul Edwards got the power off there. Yeah, there could be some spotty power outages due to the lightning strikes. And again, there were some high water rescues. There is a flash flood warning. I'll put that on here so you can see it. So it is a very, very tiny, tiny flash flood warning that we have in that flashing area that includes downtown. So we're basically talking Germantown, Barrett Avenue, Burnett Avenue, there's Payne Street, Breckenridge, so Highlands area, and then through the hospitals, over I-65, right over downtown, we have the flash flood warning until 10:30. Then you get into Old Louisville, there's 2nd Street, Oak Street, Hill Street, Dumanil, and then basically it ends at about, where are we going, 18th, 19th Street? And into Portland, and then that's it. That is the little tiny flash flood warning, advising you not to drive through that area because of some of the high water. But notice how it has dissipated, and it's now dry through downtown, while others are still getting the very heavy rainfall. It has expanded over Starlight, Perry Crossing, and Sellersburg. A very, very lazy tropical downpour is what we have over downtown. Okay, I think we've covered that enough. Let's look at Futurecast, and then we'll look at the tropics. The tropics are going to be pretty interesting. Got brand new tropical storm Ida. As it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, likely to become a hurricane, could become a major hurricane right before landfall, which right now, unfortunately, the National Hurricane Center has it moving towards New Orleans, Louisiana, within maybe a day or the same day of the landfall of Katrina 16 years earlier. And then it could curl the remnants up our way and give us some heavy rain potential Tuesday into next Wednesday. That's the time frame right now. We all know that's subject to change, but we'll take a look at the latest projections here in just a second. All right, so the graph weather model showing a lot of this fading away. I don't think we're going to see that much. There could be an isolated downpour. And then as we look ahead to tomorrow morning, we're dry, patchy fog. This fog will be a little more dense where we got some of that rain. And then there you go. There's tomorrow afternoon. You've got the popcorn thunderstorms here and there, hit or miss, splash and dash variety. Most of them garden variety. The severe weather threat is almost non-existent with the lack of wind in the atmosphere. And then we'll do it again, like clockwork. You heat it up and you bubble up a shower or thunderstorm. Here's Saturday, again, lower 90s, a few of those little pop-up showers and thunderstorms. And this is going to repeat itself, this pattern here, for Sunday and Monday. All right, let's take a look at the tropics. This is kind of interesting. So this is the spaghetti model plot. These are all the different little weather models that show the direction of where this tropical storm is going to go. It's called spaghetti plot because it kind of looks like spaghetti. The storm is south of Cuba in the Caribbean, near the Cayman Islands. It's 115 miles southeast of Grand Cayman. But you can see where a lot of the weather models, and usually, I want to point this out, the weather models are not packed this tightly. And that's a good thing, because that means the weather models seem to have a really good handle on where this system is going to go. So the tighter the grouping of weather models, the more confidence you have in your forecast. And so the National Hurricane Center has it following the center of those weather models. And you can see that is Sunday 1 p.m. Landfall near New Orleans. I mean, and that is very, very near the exact landfall of Katrina, just west of Lake Pontchartrain. and then moving up through Louisiana, up the Mississippi River, and then possibly into the Tennessee and Ohio River valleys as a remnant low pressure system Tuesday into Wednesday. So this is the European weather model, and not, you don't see an eye in a long-range weather model very often, but you can see that eye right there. It's very interesting. So there's that landfall Sunday into Monday along the Gulf Coast, and then the potential for some of that rain to move our direction. At the moment, it shows the heaviest rain in Tennessee and southern Kentucky, and then it gets lighter and lighter the farther north you go. So there might be some gusty winds from that remnant low and some heavy rain. And behind it, what I really hope is going to happen is that scoots off to the northeast. Behind it, we pull in some dry north winds, and perhaps if we get really lucky, we'll have a fall-like feel after that passes on through. The European weather model wants us to keep us in the 80s, and the GFS is kind of flirting with some 70s after that passes on through. Truth might be in the middle, so we'll just kind of wait and see. So for tonight, most areas are going to be dry, low of 75 degrees, and tomorrow we've got the heat, the humidity, and a few of those pop-up storms, high of 92, heat index 95 to 100, and then the 7-day forecast, again, muggy through Monday. Pretty simple forecast there. The severe weather threat is almost, again, at 0% through Monday with this lackadaisical atmosphere. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, watching that tropical system move in, a good chance of rain, and then some dropping temperatures as well. So the heat wave through Monday, and then some relief on the way. We'll go ahead and go back to the radar since we've got some heavy rainfall still over parts of New Albany into Sellersburg, and we'll take a look at that. We'll go back to full screen so you can see it a little bit better. And it looks like we've got some heavy rain persisting. Let me go ahead and stop this. So here's now. That's Portland. Heavy rain right over the Sherman-Minton Bridge into downtown New Albany. It is wet over Spring Street, Main Street, New Albany right now. As we go off to the north, northern New Albany also wet. And it's soaking up into basically the county line there, Floyd and Clark County line, into Sellersburg, Clarksville, Starlight, Borden, the Borden Valley, Highway 60, and then up through Perry Crossing. That's just south of Memphis. Let me see if I can get any cameras that we can look at and take a look outside at, well, it's pretty dark out there. I don't think we're going to see much out of that. All right, so there you go. So again, flash flood warning, downtown Louisville, Highlands, Portland, Old Louisville, until 10:30 p.m., so a little less than an hour and a half, and then any floodwaters will recede. I just want to avoid those areas, driving around those areas if you can. Definitely watch out for the typical flood spots. There have been a few high water rescues due to some of that flooding. Adam Dufour, is it heading your way? Probably not. I need to clear the clutter off this radar, which I'll do. Let me adjust that. All right, there we go. So I doubt, Adam, that would keep bubbling your way. There's no wind to move it that way, so it just cycles and kind of bubbles near where it's at. This is a 1 hour loop, and you can see it's not moving much. So slim to none chance, I would say, there for you there north of Salem. I won't say zero chance. You might get a little pop-up, but it looks like an outflow boundary moved through your area, which would calm down your area, actually. And Brownstown, north of the Muscatatuck River's got a good little thunderstorm there. Let me slow down that loop. That's a little bit too fast. There we go. 1 hour loop, and that formed on an outflow boundary, by the way. If you look super duper close to this, There's a little green line that passes through, and then it pops up. So those outflow boundaries, that kind of like a wedge into that muggy air and pop up additional thunderstorms. And where did that outflow boundary come from? From collapsing thunderstorms to the northeast. Rain-cooled air, splashing out, splash and dash. So it looks like that outflow boundary has moved through the Salem area and north of Salem. And so I don't think you're going to get that. From the Rush Creek Valley, looks like it'll be in pretty good shape. Unless you want the rain. I apologize. If you wanted that rain. Breckenridge County doesn't look like there's much activity in your area. It would be a small chance of a very isolated shower. Betty Lynn Logston, thanks for watching here tonight. Just looking over some of the comments. Let me fix that radar view. So let's play around here a little bit. Let's slice this thing in half. Let's do a little slice. Got a 30,000 foot storm. Heaviest rain up to 20,000 feet. So it's tall enough. Usually you want your thunderstorms to grow about 25,000 feet to produce some lightning strikes. And we've had that. Oops, let me go back to our normal view. I was looking a little crazy there for a second. Bear with me. Oops, that's not what I want to do. All right, bear with me still. Okay, so again, Starlight, Sellersburg, heavy rain there, and that's about it. Again, I'm just my brain's trying to do two things at once, trying to look at comments, trying to look at the radar. Beverly Haggis, no rain in Borden, reported that 11 minutes ago, but I think that's changed. Oh, it's just outside of Borden, just outside the ballpark there. There's the ballpark, and then there's your rain. You've even got the top of the rock cabin right there, getting a little raindrop. I know that area fairly well. That's the biggest thunderstorm that we have at the moment, just north of downtown. I'll do a loop there for you. It's a non-mover. Betty Logston, you've got nothing there in Middletown. It doesn't look like you'll have anything. Pat from the Falls of the Rough, thanks for watching. Rita Harmon has nothing in Charlestown. Yeah, it's just to the west of you. Jennifer Liano, you must have been on the upper end of the Highlands and just missed it. We've got Lisa Knott from Mount Washington. Thanks for watching. Happy birthday to Betty Logston on this August 26th. Also, my brother Adam's birthday today. Happy birthday to Adam. Mike Missy saying the rain beginning in Starlight. Stacy Rogers says there's a water rescue 30 minutes ago. Yeah, we've had a couple reports of some water rescues in that flash flood warning area. Jennifer Liano says bring on fall. For some reason, the older I get, the more I start to like the fall season, even though summer is still number one. Beverly Haggis is right there in Borden, so you're just missing out on the rainfall. Amy Moore, thanks for tuning in from New Albany. You guys have had some heavy rain. Sorry, Jennifer. Looks like that one's fizzling out in your area. Lydia Lewis still reporting some flooding in downtown Louisville. Yeah, it could take another hour or so for that to recede. Had the flash flood warning until 10:30 p.m. for that little section, but highly populated area of Jefferson County. And Joshua Violet, dog sitting in Brownsboro Road, had a thunder lightning, but no rain. Yep, it's been all downtown pretty much. Joy Randolph, thanks for watching from Sellersburg. In Sellersburg, I'm starting to see it let up a little bit more now in Sellersburg. But the heavy rain just kind of oozing to the north over Deem Lake, still to the east of Borden. Hey, Daisy Hill's getting a shower. Up there on the hill, you guys have got a shower. Blue River Road down to Blankenbaker Road, but bypassing Borden at the moment. The Borden Water Company is dry. The rain's trying to sneak up to the Memphis exit. The truck stops are about to get a little bit wet. Why am I avoiding Kentucky right now? Because there's nothing happening in Kentucky. There are no showers in the viewing area, in the WHS-11 viewing area in Kentucky. If there were, we'd be checking them out. This thunderstorm has been kind of spreading a little bit just to the west of Brownstown, north of Medora, around Freetown, along and north of Highway 50. There's 135. I think that's those two, and that's it in our viewing area. This blob and then that blob. New Albany is still getting some heavy rainfall, by the way. There's the Spring Street exit, Elm Street, Spring Street exit. Heavy rain right over downtown and the Sherman Minton Bridge. And then we go up State Street, Lee Hamilton Expressway getting wet. Grant Line Road, take Grant Line Road northbound, and then you start to run into Bennettsville, Highway 60, heavy rain. There you go. Amy Moore had a softball game in Clarksville. It poured at 8:15 towards the end of our game. We won. Congratulations. My daughter just played Clarksville High School. She's a freshman playing varsity volleyball, and they won as well. So, but volleyball's indoors, so it didn't really matter. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in here. Things will be, again, pretty much quieting down other than an isolated downpour. Severe weather is not a concern. Again, just a few of these pop-up showers and thunderstorms. The issue with the one downtown, it just sat too long and caused some areas of some flooding. So that flash flood warning continues until 10:30, so just about an hour longer. We're going to have the latest on some of those high water rescues, what's happening on the radar, the tropics, all that good stuff. Plenty more coming up on WHS 11 News, the night team, in about an hour and 40 minutes. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in to our live weather forecast stream on this August the 26th, 2021. Happy birthday again to Betty Lynn Logston and my brother Adam. Sleep well. Have a peaceful night.